Finally, we got a new box on the way. This is the review of the new box, including gameplay of combos, tricks, and tips. Let's go.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
New support includes Malefics, Blueeyes, Crystal Beast, DDD, Dinos, Cyberse, and other ultra rare and super rare cards not tied to specific deck types. Dino Support, these are all the dinos we've received support from. Now the Papega chat said dinos ain't good, no link summoning. We're going to investigate that. We're going to start with Miscellaneousaurus. If you frequently visit duellinksmeta.com, you would have known that this card was coming. I told everyone about it. Make sure you're frequently checking leaks and updates, as Assault Mode Stardust Dragon was recently leaked, and that's coming soon. So now that we have this card that's been building up hype for a while as we knew it was coming out, what does it do? A lot of people are saying that this is the best card of the box from the Papega chat, while also saying the box did not give enough Dino support. During either player's main phase, it's in your hand, it's a hand trap. You could discard this card to protect your dinosaur-type monsters you control from all other card effects from your opponent only. It's important to be from your opponent only. So in the main phase, either during your turn or your opponent's turn, here is a very large example of top-tier cards that you could protect your dinosaurs from by discarding your Miscellaneousaurus. Sun Saga, Vermilion, Blackrose, Brionnic, Leveneer, Quarion, Circle, Molehieu, Overflow, Fiendish Chain, Floodgate. Anything in the main phase, you chain this card to it from the hand, and your dinosaurs are protected. Now, it's got a second effect. While in the grave, you could banish any number of dinosaurs to summon a dinosaur from your deck that's equal to the level of what you banished. So, for example, you're going to banish itself plus other dinos to summon a Babysaurus. A good card to banish would be a Giant Rex, because when it's banished, it summons itself back on the field. So you would banish the Giant Rex and the Miscellaneousaurus to summon a Babysaurus onto the field. This will then trigger Giant Rex to summon itself from the banish pile onto the field. And then whatever you summon gets destroyed in the end phase. Well, Babysaurus, when destroyed in the end phase, will summon a dinosaur permanently onto the field. So I'm going to show you a quick concept build and how to play it and what happens in that replay. Let's go. All right. So with Megalo Smasher, we summon that. We set Survival End. Now it's our opponent's turn. And if our opponent does anything funky, if they were to, for example, we refer to our guide of cards, he goes for anything. Any of these cards that could affect us within the main phase, we're going to chain Miscellaneousaurus to protect our Megalo Smasher. Now, does it protect from our own Survival End? Unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. So Miscellaneousaurus is only protecting our Megalo Smasher from our opponent's cards. So now that we are protected, something happens, whatever, we flip up Survival End. Now, Survival End is going to destroy as many normal monsters on the field, and then it says special summon up to the number destroyed, but then destroy them in the end phase. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our deck, summon a Giant Rex. So Giant Rex is special summoned and then destroyed. Now it's our turn. Let's draw. Now, let's make some plays. Let's activate Miscellaneousaurus, which can banish from the grave to special summon a level 2. We're going to do that. We're going to banish a Giant Rex, and we're going to banish the Miscellaneous, and then we're going to summon our Babysaurus. Babysaurus will die in the end phase through the effect of Miscellaneous, or we use Survival End. With Survival End, you could banish it from the grave to destroy our Babysaurus, to destroy any card on the field. So we banish this, get rid of the Babysaurus, destroy a card in the field, activate Babysaurus, view the deck, summon a Megalo Smasher, for example, and then we got plays with Invoked. All right? Boom. And Megalo Smasher is a water, so that's giving you access to a Cocytus, or if you banish the Megalo Smasher, we keep the Miscellaneous, we could summon a Purgatrio instead. So this could be some good synergy with Invoked. I know If you hate Invoked, I'm sorry, but I think the deck will be playable without Invoked. I would say it's attack, not the core. And there you go. We got to protect from an effect. We got to destroy a card. And we got to get summoning. So correction, Giant Rex is summoned onto the field after banishing it with the effect of Miscellaneous Source. Interesting deck. Very good. Now let's talk about Dino Wrestlers. They have a single super rare card, which is the Dino Wrestler Raptor. Basically, while in attack position, it can't be destroyed by battle, but when they attack into it, it goes to defense. It will be protected from that attack, but if they attack with another monster, it gets destroyed. While in defense on your standby phase, it will summon another Raptor from your deck. Now, many people are saying this is all about Link summoning in the TCG. Of course, we do not have that. We also don't have Exceed summoning, so maybe this will be good soon in the future. But besides that, that's all that this card does. It's protected once, then summons another from the deck. Now, Anki Low is going to be comboed with that card. You're going to discard it to protect your Dino Wrestler from battle. And also at the end of the damage step, you're going to have the opposing monster's attack. Not during that battle, but permanently afterward. So when they attack into your Raptor once, it's protected. If they attack into it a second time, you're going to discard your Anklo to reduce that monster by half after the battle and protect your Raptor to ensure your Raptor during your turn could summon another Raptor. Now, Ampello, its first effect can be activated when you battle an opposing monster. It's not good, but it gets into the grave. Once you have it in the grave, after you either set it or send it to the grave through its own effect, when your opponent declares an attack, you could banish it from the grave to search for a Dino Wrestler, which is a good time to search for your Raptor. Now we have Dino Wrestler Eskree. This can be normal summoned when you have another Dino Wrestler. It's not an additional summon, so you can't summon then summon. And also, while in the grave, if your opponent activates a Magician Navigation on your turn, they special summon a monster on your turn, you could add this card from the grave back to your hand by summoning another Dino Wrestler from the grave onto the field. But then they just banish it with Circle, and then you lose. So overall, the Dino Wrestlers are incredibly lacking, missing a lot of support. Malefics. Now, my general understanding of Malefics, they are big boss monsters. These are all the cards you're getting, which is everything but 2 that exist in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! The general understanding is you need a field spell skill to even have this deck function. What the deck does is you summon big, pretty much vanilla monsters that they will die if you lose your field spell. There needs to be a field spell on the field for them to even be on the field. And you can only control one Malefic at a time and only attack with that Malefic and no other monster, unless you have Malefic territory, which we'll talk about later, to negate those effects. Starting off with a core card that I would say you want to play 3 of. I'm also going to give you a concept build and show you some plays with this deck. Paradox Gear. Very simply, if you're playing a field spell skill or play a field spell, you just normal summon it, tribute it, summon a tuner from the deck, and then add a Malefic monster from your deck to your hand. And what you're basically going to do with this card is you're going to be summoning an Animaru. It is 3000 attack, cannot be destroyed by card effects. Parallel Gear is going to be that level 2 tuner you summon from your deck with the Paradox Gear. And this is what allows you to go into the Animaru Divine Thunder, because it could use a Malefic in your hand, one you're going to search for with your Paradox Gear as you summon this from your deck, and then you synchro with your hand. Just like that. It's on the field, you activate, and then you synchro with your hand. Or you don't even activate, you just synchro with your hands. Now, if you draw this without your Paradox Gear, you're not going to have the luxury of searching for a level 10 Malefic to make an Animaru Divine Thunder. So instead, you're likely possibly going to be making an Alexander instead with your level 8 Malefic, which we're going to talk about in a second, which is simply a 3000 attack monster with no effect. Kind of a 3000 vanilla is what your Parallel Gear is going to turn into. Malefic Stardust Dragon. This is one of the main Malefics you're going to play 3 of. You banish a Stardust Dragon from your extra deck to summon this. It's 1 card summon. You don't need to play a field spell because you're going to play a skill that starts with a field spell to summon it. And if you lose the field spell, you lose the Malefic Stardust Dragon. While on the field, your field spell cannot be destroyed by card effects like Overflow and Rampage Dragon, but you're not protected from Cosmic Cyclone, which is the most played card that will just banish it, and then you lose your Malefic Stardust Dragon. Truth Dragon is a great card to talk about as a follow-up to the Malefic Stardust, as if anything were to happen to your Malefic monster or Malefic Stardust, it will be summoning your Truth Dragon from your hand or your grave. If your Malefic Stardust is destroyed, you summon Truth Dragon, 5,000 attack, 5,000 defense. You have to pay half your life points to summon it, and just anytime a Malefic is destroyed, you summon Truth Dragon from the grave or hand. Now we have Malefic World, the field spell for the deck. It is an incredibly weak field spell. You might not even play it, but if you do, instead of drawing for your turn, you reveal 3 Malefic cards, and then your opponent randomly adds one of them to your hand. Ideally, you're going to reveal 3 Paradox Gear, which gets into the Animaru, or just search for any Malefic, and then they have to 100% add the Paradox Gear to your hand. That's pretty much all the card does, but the card is made better because of Malefic Territory. When you activate Malefic Territory, you get to play your Malefic World from your deck. And while the Malefic World itself, no other field spell, is on your field zone, you can't replace it with something else, your field zone cannot be targeted by Cosmic Cyclone. So Malefic Territory will counter Cosmic Cyclone, but they could chain Cosmic Cyclone to the activation of your territory, and then it still gets countered by Cosmic Cyclone. The other effect of Territory, which I would say is its third effect, is you could now summon more than 1 Malefic on the field, and you can attack with more than 1 Malefic on your field, or your other monsters can also attack. The Malefic must be a different name, though. Now let's talk about Malefic Rainbow Dragon. This is mainly going to be used with your tuner to summon the Animaru Divine Thunder, as the Stardust Dragon is level 8. This is level 10. 10 plus 2 equals Animaru. You just need the tuner on the field. Boom, synchro. Now, Rainbow Dragon. You're not going to play a Rainbow Dragon in your deck or your hand to properly summon this. Instead, you're going to use the other effect of Paradox Gear. While in the grave, the Paradox Gear can be banished to summon your Rainbow Dragon from your hand. Now, there's some controversy around this. This is an OCG rule, but some people believe you're not even going to be able to attempt to summon it with the Paradox Gear if you do not have a Rainbow Dragon in your hand or deck. We'll see when the card comes out, but I do believe, based off of the official OCG rules, that you will be able to do so. So this is why the Paradox Gear is so important. It not only summons the tuner from the deck to lead into an Animaru, it also searches for a Malefic, which could search for the Rainbow Dragon, which could help again with the Animaru. It could also be used in the grave to banish to summon your Rainbow Dragon or your Malefic Stardust or any Malefic monster. Paradox Gear is the main card. Malefic Selector may be usable with Transcendent Crystals. It sucks. You could read this if you want. Pause the screen. I'm not going to even go into it. We also have Malefic Divide. You target a Malefic in your grave, you special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions, but it still had to have been properly summoned. You can't just discard it or send it from the deck to the grave. It had to have been summoned, then sent to the grave. You could special summon it, its effects are negated, you can attack. So if you have an open field or a territory, you could summon multiple Malefics with multiple copies of Malefic Divide and attack with huge monsters. Malefic Paradox Dragon is a synchro you could use with your level 2 tuner plus your Stardust to synchro into this, but it dies if you don't have a Malefic World on the field. The normal Malefics require any field spell. This needs a Malefic World, so it's much more harder to summon and keep on the field. But when you summon it, you could look at either player's graveyard and summon a synchro from it. YouTube, let's do a combo with this deck. We start with the field spell, Mountain. We could summon the Paradox Gear, tribute it, to then grab from our deck a gear, summon it onto the field. Also, search for a Malefic Rainbow Dragon. Now, Malefic Rainbow Dragon, some people are confused on this. They are not sure if it's going to work in Duel Links, but due to OCG rulings we're reading, you do not need to play a Rainbow Dragon in your deck to summon it. You could banish the Paradox Gear to summon the Rainbow Dragon. That's what it's believed to be so, according to the Discord, these rules. You could special summon the Malefic even if the monster is not in your deck or extra deck. That's how we believe it works right now. But anyway, we're not even doing that. We're instead going to be using the tuner on the field to synchro with our hand. Use this on the field and the other synchro materials in the hand. We're going to send this to the grave, to summon Animaru. Animaru cannot be destroyed by card effects. And then we just have Necro Valley. Could play it over the mountain. Necro Valley is going to protect the graveyards can't be touched. They can't move cards. So Animaru plus Necro Valley, pretty good. Now, if we were to draw into any Malefics, Malefic World will make it so the Animaru will be protected. Animaru is not going to be able to declare an attack if we were to grab a Malefic Stardust. So we would banish a Stardust to summon Malefic Dragon, and then the Malefic Territory, the correct card, Malefic Territory will negate the effect of Stardust, preventing us from not being able to attack with the Animaru. So now both can attack. And with the Territory, we can control more than one Malefic if we were to grab another Malefic, as long as it's a different name. And now the Stardust is protecting the Necro Valley from destruction from cards like Overflow or Rampage Dragon. Very good. Quick concept build to optimize summoning the Animaru and summoning the Stardust Dragon to protect your field spells. Very cool. New Blueeyes White Dragon support, Malefic Blueeyes White Dragon. At first look, you're gonna think, no way are you playing this card? Well, let's see if I can make you rethink that. First of all, if there is no field spell, it destroys itself on summon. And to summon itself, you banish a Blueeyes White Dragon from your deck. So very easily and consistently, if in your hand, you will summon it. Its effect on the field is, it has no effect besides killing itself if you do not have a field spell. So you have to give up on your skill Alternative Evolution to play a field skill. Is that going to be worth it? Well, let's see if we can make it worth it. Here is a sample top version of how to play Blueeyes. How do we improve upon this deck? Well, what we're gonna do is, all we need is a Sage with Eyes of Blue, or 2 tuners, plus your Malefic Blueeyes White Dragon, or a Melody, which could search it, and that's gonna equal Necro Valley on turn 1. Thank you, Resline, for the combo. Let's show them the combo. Let's go. Let's shuffle the deck. Summon a Sage. Get searching. Grab an Ancients. Okay? Then, we're going to activate Malefic Blueeyes White Dragon by banishing a Blueeyes White Dragon from the deck. And by the way, from the deck, you could just grab it to the banish. That's pretty cool. I like that we could just drag it instead of adding it. So that's a good little add to the deck. Okay, so then we're going to Synchro 1, 2 to make our Blueeyes Spirit Dragon. Now, Blueeyes Spirit Dragon, we're going to activate it to attribute itself to summon. And by the way, we have the field spell on the field. It starts on the field. We're going to summon an Ancient Fairy Dragon. And with Ancient, we could take off auto if you want to. So you could, if you want to play the cards, you could choose how you want to summon it in defense or set. Now, Ancient Fairy Dragon is going to pop the mountain to search our deck for Necro Valley. Play Necro Valley. Now, we already normal summoned. So we're going to activate Ancient Fairy Dragon to special summon a monster from the hand. It has another effect. Our life points also get boosted. 1,000. Okay, thank you very much. It's all in the duel log here too, and you will be able to save replays and share them with your friends and family. Special summon the Ancients with the effect of the Ancient Fairy Dragon into defense. We're going to then synchro into our Spark Dragon. And then in the end phase, our Ancients effect is going to activate to summon a Blueeyes White Dragon onto the field, and that's your turn 1 play. Now, to make that combo more consistent, we could be playing Melody of the Awakening Dragon, which could search for Malefic Blueeyes White Dragon, a Blueeyes White Dragon, or even a Leveneer as the Malefic Blueeyes White Dragon, in addition to Cosmo Brain, if you're even going to still play that, potentially, will make your Leveneer more playable because now you have lights and darks to summon Leveneer to get poppin'. Let's talk about the other ultra rare and super rare cards. I got some gameplay examples for at least a few of these. Let's go. Acid Trap Hole. Target a face down monster. Flip it up. Look at it. If it's 2,000 or defense or less, destroy it. If it's more than 2,000, put it back down. Probably the best use of this card is to use it on your own monster. Now, chat's reaction to that was horrible. Actually, Konami killed this idea through the new rule just added to the game last week. Did Konami actually kill this card? Or maybe it's better than it was before. Instead of using it on your own monsters, which was the big brain idea, instead, now it negates flip effects from your opponent. With the new rules only, not before, it will negate the flip effect even though it doesn't say it. It's going to flip up Raikou, destroy it, Raikou will not activate. It's going to flip up Invoker, not flip the effect, not activate, destroy it, no search. So it's a really good future side deck card to negate flip effects. Let's go. Dark Dust Spirit. I made good money with this card back in the day. I played in a cash tournament. I got top 8, split the money with the use of Dark Dust Spirit. So what does this card do? It's a level 6 monster, normal or flip. It's going to destroy all other face-up monsters, not including itself, and then it goes back to your hand in the end phase. So the idea is your opponent commits to the field, you stop them through maybe a Sphere Kribo or a Kiteroid, then you summon it on your turn, wipe their field, go back to your hand, and then it happens over and over. They commit, wipe the commitment, and then maybe they're going to be too afraid to even summon a monster after you're continually wiping the field with Dark Dust Spirit. This works against Saber Dancer, a huge monster that cannot be targeted. It's similar to Feng Huang, where this on summon would destroy set spell and traps and go back to your hand, but this takes out the monsters. I'd probably play this in a trap monster deck to continually summon and wipe the field. Now there is a 1-turn combo. Kill an entire field of Blue-Eyes White Dragons with a Neos Fusion and a Dark Dust Spirit. So how? With just 2 cards do you end with a Brave Neos and a Dark Dust Spirit and wipe out an entire field of Blue-Eyes White Dragons? Let's watch the replay. Triple Blue-Eyes White Dragon on the field. We have a Neos Fusion and a Dark Dust Spirit, which on summon will wipe all other face-up monsters on the field. So we're going to Neos Fusion, we're going to send an El Hero Neos, and we're going to send an Armalise. This will summon a Brave Neos onto the field. Now, we have not normal summon yet, we're going to use Armalise. We're going to banish this card to make our Dark Dust Spirit 1 less tribute. We're going to summon Dark Dust Spirit, wipe out the entire field, including your Brave Neos, but Brave Neos is protected by Neos Fusion. Protection, send it to the grave, send it to the grave, send it to the grave. Dark Dust Spirit does not destroy itself. Open field, lethal. And that's how it goes. Just like that. That's a cool little combo with your Dark Dust Spirit, wipe out the field, lethal with the Brave Neos, and summon it with the Armalise. Justy Break. Activate when your opponent declares an attack on a normal monster you control. This will destroy all monsters on the field besides the face-up attack position normal monster. So if your monster's in defense, they attack, it's going to wipe your monster, including everything else. Only attack position normal monsters are safe. Now, normally people play around Wall Disruption by putting their monsters into defense before attacking so they don't get reduced. You cannot play around this card. The only way to not play around it, or to play around it, I should say, is ensure you don't overcommit with monsters. No one's going to do that. Or by just not attacking. Now, besides using it with Dark Magician to wipe out an entire field of monsters besides the Dark Magician, you could use it with Swamp Mirror. It's a normal monster when you summon it as a trap. You could even just use it in a trap monster deck. Canadia, this used to be a popular card back in the day. You could bring it back. Summon it from the grave, it's a normal monster. If they attack into it, wipe out all of the monsters. This is just like a Mirror Force. Even new dinosaurs could possibly use this Mirror Force-like card, wiping out everything. Ancient Pixie Dragon. A lot of people look at this card, they scratch their head. Well, leave it up to an MCS winning. That means he's won thousands of dollars. Look at all of these accomplishments. He also won with Black Wings, and he believes that you should play this in Black Wings. Our resident top player council member, he helps with the tier list weekly. He says we should play with peak performance. I'm going to show you the combo with Black Wings to crush a Thunder Dragon deck, which is top tier. Our opponent has a Sphere Kribo in the hand, but I'm going to stay zoomed in so you could see the gameplay much better. And we know that Thunder Dragons is a top tier deck. It's very difficult to wipe out their monsters because Roar summons another monster and they play hand traps. So what we're going to do is we're going to activate Simoon by banishing a Simoon to then summon Simoon with a Black Whirlwind on the field. That's an additional summon. Trigger the Black Whirlwind, get search and grab a Zephyros. Then we're going to normal summon the Zephyros, triggering Black Whirlwind to grab ourselves a Gale. Then we're going to special summon a Gale. We're going to Synchro Shokan, Zephyros, and the Gale into the Assault Blackwing. Raikiri. Special summon a Roshi. And then we're going to activate Raikiri to destroy 2 cards on the field. We're going to destroy the Dragon Duo, destroy the Roar. Now, Roar is going to activate to summon a Dark onto the field in defense to protect himself. Now, we're going to send Simoon to the graveyard and a Roshi to the grave to summon Pixie. Pixie being summoned is going to trigger the Orochi when sent to the graveyard as a synchro material. Change a battle position of a monster on the field. We're going to change the Dark into attack position. And now that it's in attack position, the Pixie, with a field spell, can target a face-up attack position monster and destroy that target. So Pixie, destroy the Dark with its effect. They're going to search a card. That's okay. They have Sphere Creep on the hand. Now we're going to use Zephyros to summon itself onto the field by returning the mountains to our hand. And then we're going to replay the mountains, which will trigger Pixie's other effect to draw a card. Now we draw a card for free. We draw Sphere Creep ourselves, thanks to Zephyros comboing at the Pixie. And then we attack with the Raikiri. He's going to activate Sphere Creebo. That's going to put us into defense. And then we attack with 1800 and 2300, thanks to the field spell boosting up both. Without the field spell boost, this is not lethal, but Sphere Creebo stopped that. And just like that, you beat a Roar effect with Duel on the field and through a Sphere Creebo through using your Pixie to destroy a card and draw a card. So that's a sample of Pixie working out.